Hello and welcome to another video. In today's video we're going to be continuing work on the Bolens HT23. And it's kind of lucky that we have more work to do on this because it was raining for ages here in the UK. Then we had a week of kind of high 20 degrees Celsius temperatures and sunlight, and now it's back to being dull and partly raining. So it's good that we have some jobs to do in the workshop. Now what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be putting a replacement second-hand dash on the Bolens HT23, which the current one is kind of one of the only things letting the tractor down at the moment, is because you can see on this side's the worst. It has this cracked bit, there's a hole there, and you can see these plastic dashes are quite flimsy. So this replacement one is off a different tractor, and we got sent it by Dave Matthews, so once again thank you Dave, and we unboxed all of the stuff that he sent us in the previous video. Now you can see it does actually have the black background. That's just because it's from a different tractor, but it's better to have an actual good full dash that isn't flimsy or anything than having one that's the right colour. Now we're so confident about switching these over, not the whole process, but it actually looking alright, because we did the exact same on our other HT23, but this was the dash at the time that was on that. As you can see, it was in a bit worse condition than the one that's on here. You can see when we took this one off, we found that the actual fixings had snapped off. We just had a look at this one, and it is the exact same here. You can see that's cracked and broken off, and I believe the other side has as well. Now the thing that's covering it up on this is a previous owner has put these brackets on here so that you can't actually tell that it was broken off. Now as a precaution, first what we're going to be doing is, as you can see, there's quite a lot of electronical components on the dash, and we don't want any of that to get damaged or shorted out or anything like that. So what we're going to be doing is just disconnecting the battery. Now the first thing that we're going to disconnect on here to actually get it off is the choke and throttle levers. Now we're going to disconnect it at the back so we can just pull them off, but that does mean needing to take the knobs off the end of them. Now some of them just pull off, like so, and some of them won't just pull off and need a bit more encouragement. So what we're going to do is get this claw hammer and then gently use it like that and then prise it off like so, but when we actually do it we'll have some protection back here as to not damage this panel or any of the decals that are on there. Well, everything fell off, but sure enough it came off and there's no damage to anywhere else. We've got the choke and throttle levers out now, and they're just held in on the front by a crosshead screw, and then on the back it's a 3/8 nut, as you can see there. The next step towards getting this dash off will be to take the key switch out and the light switch. Now for the key switch we're going to be using an adjustable, because from what we've found it isn't actually a standard size that we can find on any of our spanners, which is helpful. Now once I've undone this should just drop out the back. There we go. Now with the ignition switch and the light switch out, all that's left to do now is get the ammeter out, which the first part towards that is carefully removing this wire. And then now what needs to be done is to undo these nuts here, and then that will allow this retaining clip to come back, and then the actual gauge will go out the front. I've got both of the nuts off now, and I forgot to mention this other electrical component comes off as part of the nut. Anyway, now just to remove the clip. Put that there. Now the ammeter is through, and we should now be able to unbolt this without anything still being attached to it. Now with everything off the dash, and us believing that those parts are all snapped, the 2 bolts that are holding on this bracket, 2 bolts are holding on that bracket, and there is a small bracket in the middle. We think all of the plastic on them is snapped. We've undone these modifications on the side, so according to our plans, that just lifts straight off. And as you can see, that's snapped there, that one was snapped there, and this one has just kind of broken where the bolt hole was. And you can see the remnants of the plastic on most of them, except for the middle one where you can just see the bolt. Right, so we've cleaned up this new dash, and hopefully this should I should be able to slide these on the studs, which we did actually clean these studs up before I tried to do this, and that, I believe, is the position where it will be. Next job is just to put everything back on, which is the complete inverse of what I've just shown you. And with this ignition switch, let me just take this off so it's easier. You may have seen in the previous video when we were unboxing stuff, we do actually have a new ignition switch, but for this one, we've just cleaned up the terminals and we're going to see how it works just as it is with the old switch. We've got all of the things back in the dashboard. We tested all of the electrics, lubricated the throttle and choke levers, and everything works as it should do. And of course it's a lot more sturdy than the plastic dash, and I'd recommend for anyone that has an HT23 with a broken plastic dash, if you get a metal dash like this from something like a Bolens G14 or G12, the tube frame size tractors, even their dashes fit this. This I believe is a tube frame dash, I can't fully remember, but it does do that. And if we ever do end up repainting this tractor, we'll put a green decal on here and you won't be able to tell a difference. And now if I just do this up, this fits a lot better with how the hood is. Now we can just very quickly update our board, because we've only done one job in this video, which was the new dash. But it's always good to update the board, make sure that we put every little change ticked off on here. But on that note, it is time to end. Thanks for watching, I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Please subscribe to my channel, like this video and see our other videos. More to follow as we do more on this tractor. Bye!